What was for you the hardest challenge this time?
Thinking about the parser, like so often. So I had difficulties in first place, but then I came to the idea to input this extra line and use this card marker as an end of line, basically, and then it worked more or less good. And then with the second part was understanding the riddle, because this text is pretty complicated.
Good morning. Here are the guys from Germany. My name is Thomas, and today my guests are Achim. Good morning, Achim.
Good morning, Thomas.
And Frank is my guest. And Frank will explain us his solution in Rust. Good morning, Frank.
Hello, Thomas. Hello, Achim. Nice to be here.
Yeah. Frank, can you first talk a little bit about the riddle this day?
Yeah, okay. The riddle, it's Scratchcards. So it's about lists of numbers we have to compare to each other. It looks like this. We get one line is one card, and then for each card we got a list of winning numbers, and then we got a list of our numbers, and look how much of our numbers are in the list of winning numbers. And here in the first line, I guess, was 4, so the 48 is here, and 83 is here, and 53 or 17 is here. Yeah, and that's it. And then for each card we get some points. This is for the first matching card, we get 1 point, and then for each next matching card that points double. So the second is 2, the third card is 4 points, and then the fifth card is again doubled. So we have, please.
This sounds easy.
In first place, it sounds easy. What a bit complicated is the parser here, caused by this input format with the dash in it, but it's straightforward, yes. And I will show the code. So this code includes both the first and the second star, so I will only explain the first star. I have some number here, ANS1. This is my answer for the first star. So I count the numbers, and in the end here I print the answer.
Okay.
And how it is counted, so well, I parse this here by ASCII whitespace. So I parse the whole input into words. Input looks like this for me.
Ooh.
And then it's always a word. So at white spaces it is splitted. So what I did as a little trick, I added another card as another line with an end here, so I know where the input ends.
Okay.
Little tricky trick. So
a workaround for you.
Call it workaround, yeah. So whenever I find a word card, I know one line is finished, and what I parsed in the previous line I can like add up, and I have something like a local answer, which is the answer for one line, and I summarize these local answers to get the whole answer. So, and if I find the end thing, I break the whole loop and just output the solution. And well, at each time I find such a card here. The first thing, I initialize my variables here, and then there is this pipe symbol here, which separates the two lists. So if I'm left of the pipe, I add these numbers to a hash set, and if I'm right of the pipe, I count the matching numbers. So this is basically here this else part. So here I get the number, and if I'm at IDX 0 means I'm left of the pipe, then I insert it, else I look if it contains it. And then I'm summarizing here this local answer. The first match gives 1 point. Every successive match doubles the points.
Yeah,
and that adds up to the actually correct number.
Yeah. So cool.
Pretty straightforward. Yeah.
Straightforward. Achim, do you got a question for the solution in Rust?
No. But I was somewhat hoping for something more object-oriented.
Yeah, okay. It's zero object oriented here. It's pure procedural. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Then,
second part of the puzzle here, part 2. This is a bit complicated to understand the text. What we got here is we forget about the points we get with this doubling and so on. It's just about how many cards we get. And here, if we got in the first line 4 matches, then we get copies of cards. So we get in the second line a copy, in the third line, fourth line, and fifth line. The 4 following cards get one more copy. So this brings us to the point that each card has some multiplier. So if I got 77 cards of card 4, then everything I do with card 4 is multiplied by this multiplier. So we have to maintain a multiplier. And I do this here if I with a vector of integers. I did it of size 1000 because I know my input is much less than 1000 lines. So I got for each card a multiplier, and I initialize this to 1 because I have 1 card for each thing. So, and then in my loop, whenever I finished a card, answer for the second star is incremented by the number of cards I have at this card IDX. This card IDX is basically the IDX of the card where I'm currently am. So, and then it's this part where it's matches. If I have a match, so if this thing contains, then I count these matches, and then the multiplier for the card of the current index plus the count is incremented by the multiplier of the current card. So if I got, say, 5 cards of card 3, and then I match it, then one of the consecutive cards is incremented by 5 because it's done 5 times. And well, this then adds up to the second answer.
okay.
Yeah.
What was for you the hardest challenge this time?
Thinking about the parser, like so often. So I had difficulties in first place, but then I came to the idea to input this extra line and use this card marker as an end of line, basically, and then it worked more or less good. And then with the second part was understanding the riddle, because this text is pretty complicated. I was a bit surprised that it worked on first try, because I was not really sure if I understood it correct. So, but yeah.
Fine, cool. Achim, some comments from you to this?
Nope.
Okay, then Achim and Frank, big thank you, and we see us tomorrow again.
Thank you.